You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. Exactly. Rewind.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. You know why you're here, don't you? The dead girl. And this. What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that this time? Splendid. You're going to a town called August. Find Chief DuPont. He's gonna think you're someone else. This person. This is who you are now. Understood? Splendid. If someone so much as sniffs that you're different, you'll be deprecated.
Deprecated.
We expect you to use your ability. Just don't get caught. And never, ever change into a child.
In brighter news, August resident Mia French is celebrating the return of her missing pooch, Barley. The 8-month-old Basset Hound puppy was found outside Daryl's Chicken and Ribs.
And that's 5 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
I'm Violet. Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules. In particular, no shoes in the guest house. The carpets are priceless. Now, how long are you staying for? Yes, the chief said it may be a while. I can see you don't mind getting your hands dirty, though. There's not been many visitors of late. Perhaps the murder will bring some tourists in. Sometimes we wish we'd asked something and the moment just passes. Yes, the murder. You haven't spoken to the chief yet, have you? Chief Dupont. He's the one who booked the room for you. You look lost. You should probably go and speak to the chief. Your room is just down the hall, last on the left. It has its own back door. The chief said that's the way you'd like it.
Just finishing. You don't believe? That's okay. Sometimes life is just a stream of coincidences. Hi, I'm Bronwyn. Pleased to meet you, Sam. If you'd like a reading. So, what's your question, Sam? Oh. The Page of Cups. It suggests I'm innocent of whatever it is I'm being accused of. I'm going to be seeing a lot more of you, aren't I, Sam? I'm in room 1 and that's down the hall. Lorraine's in 2, Lexi's in 3. And which room are you in, Sam? Good. We're neighbours. Just knock if you need me.
My gun? But I just shot you. You didn't shoot me, she smiles. I told you to think that you'd shot me, and you did. She places a softly scented palm on my forehead and whispers, "Because you're an onomat now." Yeah, because I'm an onomat now. She kisses me on the cheek and gives me a gentle push. Tell the chief.
Good, you got my message. Chief Inspector Dupont. I wasn't sure you'd come, but I suppose you're between jobs? Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam. That's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw. 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled. I know who did it, but I need proof. It's the tarot readers. Yes. Keep up, Sam. That's the girl who was murdered? Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up. It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs? To be honest, I thought she'd probably been smoking something. And that's why I didn't take it seriously. Because things, I don't have enough on her. That's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it? Okay. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them. You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out, I'll help you. Do I have to spell it out? I'll make your problem go away, or at least sink it to the bottom of a pile of paperwork. Your old town? The problem? Come and find me when you're settled. This is Second Chance Sunday for you, Sam. Don't blow it. Do I have an alibi for last night? Do I? Okay. I was here, and there are video monitors that will prove it. Thanks for ruling me out, genius. Born here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady. Where are you going with this, Sam? What's she told you? She told you she's taking pills, didn't she? Let me handle Violet. She didn't kill anyone. In her bedroom. She was naked. Strangled. No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at. There was one thing, but it's strictly between you and me. Dorota had a gold coin in her mouth. I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this. It's the one thing only the killer would know. Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating? What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard. It was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself. Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th at approximately 9 p.m, according to the coroner, we got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m.
Sam, is it? I'm sensing you're not here for a reading. Chief Dupont thinks I did it. I'm hoping you'll convince him otherwise. I didn't. We've only been here 2 days. I understand it's suspicious me being a stranger in town, but it's the truth. There's a lot more at stake here than you know, Sam. Well, if I told you that, you'd have nothing to do. We saw it in the cards, not images, feelings, impressions. Tarot can be very powerful. Not these cards. They only tell us what they want us to know. In my room reading, I found a trashy romance novel under the bed. I'm assuming it's Violet's. It's all swooning heroines and brooding vampire Casanovas. Thank God Lexi saved me. She came to my room to chat for a little while. That was around 9, I think. You can ask her. I said the book was trashy. Look at this place. If her guest house is anything to go by, Violet's the opposite of trashy.
You must be a new guest. Or you're burglaring us. I'm Rain, by the way. Pleased to meet you, Sam. Enjoy your stay. The hot water goes off at 9, by the way, so it's cold showers from there on in. It really bugs me. I didn't know her. I know she was called Dorota Shaw. She was young, had red hair, a talented musician. No, not at all. You're completely barking up the wrong tree there. Spoken like the true killer, posing as a detective, trying to frame someone else for the murder. I was in my room. Praying, actually. I don't believe in God, but I was still praying. It didn't work. I don't believe in anything, but I also believe anything is possible, so it's a conundrum. We did a reading. A group reading, actually, with a special tarot deck. The three of us get together and read the same cards. Bronwyn says it makes the whole thing stronger or more powerful or something, but I'm pretty sure I'd get the same answers just on my own. Mercury? It's not exactly from here. With a normal tarot deck, you'd have the question, so you'd be the querent. With Mercury, it gives you the question and the answer. The cards themselves kind of change. It's a special deck. I don't have it at the moment. Bronwyn has it.
Hi, Sam, is it? Come on in, make yourself at home. Mi casa es su casa. Come on. I don't know anyone in this town, except for Bronwyn and Rain, obviously, and Violet, and the Chief, and now you. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. Good old-fashioned fortune-telling. Well, kind of. We drew a card each and smushed them all together. Do you know what the most dangerous tarot card is? Everybody thinks that. It's such a cliche. The death card doesn't even mean death. Most of the time. The Five of Swords. I think so anyway. There's nothing more dangerous than someone taking whatever they want no matter the cost. Yeah, I did. Rain got the Knight of Wands, that's Dorota, and Bronwyn got the Ten of Swords, which is, well, you know, swords in general are bad. She's like my big sister, so pretty well. No. The cards told us to. Well, the cards of Rain. Tarot gives us a rough direction and he narrows it down with some astrological jiggery-pokery. He's basically a walking esoteric library. And if that sounds dull, let me reassure you, it is. No? Well, yeah. Well, no. We have a job to do. I didn't say job. I said job. Okay, we make a cheese obelisk, a chop, And depending on the shape of that job, we get different answers to questions. No, you don't. I was in my room all night with Bronwyn. We were painting our nails. No, I mean, yeah, I've already cleaned it off.
Discoveries made at other lunar sites, Dr. Yutani was able to create a rough translation of the word, or rather something that approximated its meaning: punishment for the wicked or curious. As people of science, they had all agreed how disturbing it was that, to the civilization that came up with this word, curiosity was a concept to be closely associated with wickedness, something to be punished. As he contemplated the day's events, Dmitri quickly fell asleep. He couldn't wait to go back home. He awoke later that night, startled by the sounds of loud whispering, and switched on the light next to his bed. It wasn't working, and his eyes hadn't yet gotten used to the dark, so he instead listened intently. The whispers had stopped. All he heard now was the soft, familiar buzzing of a ceiling lamp. Dmitri wondered how the light could be on if his room was still shrouded in darkness. He rubbed the hills of his hands against his eyes, trying hopelessly to rub the blackness out of them. His befuddlement slowly turned to horror as he came to the terrifying realization that he had gone blind. Panicking, Dmitri stumbled out of bed, felt his bare feet touch the cold floor, and quickly, but carefully, made his way to the door. He searched for the handle, opened the door, and stumbled into the hallway. "Help!" he stammered. "Somebody help!" No one answered. He continued into the common area of the base, which he knew to be consistently occupied by crew members returning from their shifts. Is anyone here?" he asked, and waited. Again there was no response, but as he listened closer, he noticed another presence in the room. He could hear them breathing. "Hello? Can you hear me?" he tried again. "I can't see. I think I'm blind." The breathing became heavier, but there was no reply. Without knowing what came over him, Dmitri yelled out in frustration and fear, stomping his feet like a frustrated child. "Please help me!" The breathing suddenly stopped and changed into a deeply unsettling guttural sound. Fear slowly started to take hold of Dmitri. Just when he was about to turn around and run into the hallway, the guttural noise faded into what sounded like a dying breath. Held back by doubt, but compelled by curiosity, he approached the source of the sound. He reached out his hand, but no one was there. Dmitri was both perplexed and overcome by a frightful panic. He felt like he was going mad. Nothing made sense. He just wanted to leave this nightmare and go home, but home was a million miles away. He knew he was alone here, and no one would be coming to help him. It was then he heard the voices again whispering to him. As the murmurs grew louder, Dmitri was almost able to make out individual words in a language wholly unknown to him, or any other man. Its harsh consonants and unearthly vowels chilled him to the bone. Dmitri covered his ears to make it stop, but the nameless voices only grew more incessant, hounding him, compelling him to listen, until he understood the meanings of their words. "This is how you die." Dmitri tried to scream, but there was no sound. He reached for his throat and felt his skin peel away. "Dr. Sheffield? Come in, Dr. Sheffield!" Dmitri was suddenly startled by the voice in his earpiece. He didn't realize where he was, until he noticed he was suspended in the air. He was still inside the hole. Had he been dreaming? As he ascended the shaft, he wondered which part had been a dream and what had been reality. It all felt the same to him. He quickly searched his pouch and found the etchings he had made. Everything that had occurred after he copied the notes must have been some kind of hallucination, he concluded, possibly caused by a gas or an unfamiliar type of radiation. The three scientists all looked at him eagerly as he climbed out of the hole. "Well, did you find anything down there?" Dr. Whitfield asked. "All we heard was static." I have something that might interest Dr. Yutani, Dimitri said with a smile, trying to hide his anxiety. With a trembling hand, he produced the etchings from his pouch. What's this? Dr. Yutani asked as she carefully accepted the notes. More writing from the strangers? She studied the letters, hemming and hawing. It's just one word repeated over and over. I need a cross-reference with the Daedalus findings, but at first glance it seems to be about abuse or torture. Or punishment? Added Dimitri, a fearful realization in his voice. Well, yes, replied Dr. Yutani. She looked at Dimitri with bewilderment, more surprised than impressed by his linguistic knowledge. Punishment for the wicked or curious, Dimitri said, his eyes wide with fear. Dr. Remington looked at the others in confusion, then at Dimitri. How did you know? Dimitri snapped back to reality. We've had this conversation before. Is it possible you're having déjà vu? Asked Dr. Remington. No, Dimitri replied. I'm sure. I remembered what those writings meant, he said, as he frantically pointed at the notes Dr. Yutani was holding. Are you saying you've seen what exactly, the future? Dr. Whitfield asked. He sounded incredulous. Dimitri's shoulders slumped as his gaze dropped to the floor. Yes, I think so. There was a long silence, and he didn't dare guess what the others thought of him. Well, if you saw the future, what happens next? Dr. Remington asked with some trepidation. Dimitri tried to find the words. I'll go to sleep, and when I wake tomorrow, I'll be blind, and everyone else will be gone. I'm going to die here alone. The other scientists quietly glanced at each other. Dr. Yutani was the first to speak. I'm sure it won't play out like that. Her words were meant to be comforting, but lacked conviction. It was probably some kind of hallucination, said Dr. Whitfield as he placed a hand on Dimitri's shoulder. Nothing to worry about. Dimitri just stared into empty space, his eyes filled with dread. They all arrived at the living quarters about an hour later. On the way over, Dimitri had listened to his recordings and couldn't make out anything out of the ordinary. Perhaps the others were right. Perhaps it was all just in his head. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that he had seen his imminent and unavoidable future. A slow and terrifying death, surrounded by darkness, trapped in an alien place. Chills ran down his spine. He lay himself on bed and quickly fell asleep. He couldn't wait to go back home. Later that night, Dimitri awoke to the sound of cold and hollow whispers in the darkness. He didn't bother turning on the light this time.
Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. Okay, so please explain to the listeners what the object is that you are holding.
I mean, it's very, very heavy. It's wooden, and...
Correct.
It's got engravings on it. I think are they animals?
There could be...
Mercury? Sure. I'll just get it. It feels a bit sacrilegious just spreading it out to show you. It doesn't really answer questions, it more asks them. Do you want it to ask you a question, Sam? It wants to know if you're happy being the person you are now. Mercury doesn't agree. In fact, if anything, and I could be wrong, it's suggesting that you're not even the person you're saying you are now. I've only had that reading once before.
Remains ingrained in the manga. But I obviously can't vouch for that.
I assume you've been to see Chief DuPont already. Not really. I'm sure she was a precious lamb, though. Yes, a lamb. Young. Innocent. Lambs get slaughtered, though, don't they? Nice, yes, that's a good description. Actually, I thought she was a bit slutty, to be honest. Sorry. I'm gossiping. I don't want to talk ill of the dead. Ask her boyfriend. Oscar lives at the vicarage next to the church. Don't tell him I sent you, though. I'm sure he's sick of seeing people already. It's the strangest thing. I honestly don't remember. But I imagine I was here or getting groceries somewhere. No, and I didn't murder her, if that's what you're asking. I take clozapine. I think they're for anxiety. I'm a very anxious person. I don't know, Dr. Sam, you tell me. They're tarot readers. I'm thinking of asking them to leave, actually. Because they may have killed someone. It's not great for my reputation, is it? Stay at Violet's, the home of killers and hobos. I'm sorry, it's a derogatory word, isn't it? But strange people seem to gravitate towards this guest house, Sam. I think I'll get the sign changed.
I was not connected with the police manhunt after the body was found. Maybe
It's 6 o'clock and you're listening to Radio August. Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw are appealing to the community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe?
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August for updates.
I heard Dorota Shaw was due to play this weekend.
At the Tulip Festival?
Indeed. I understand why they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet. That's 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
feel hostile eyes on the back of my head as I head towards the dark end of the street. Footsteps behind me, soft, but to my heightened awareness, nearly deafening. Is this the one? I slow down, give an innocent passerby the chance to save himself.
Who are you? Right, because the local police are so rubbish. It's been a day, a whole day. It's typical of them. Yeah, I went round there in the afternoon. Her parents were at work, and we were, you know, hanging out. I left at about 5. I'm playing football. It's just 5-a-side. Finished at about 9:30. I called her, but she never picked up. Not much. They always seemed happy to see me. I don't think they meant it. They wanted Dorota to focus on her music.
Not long, a couple of months maybe. We did care for each other. No one. She was really popular. What, you mean watching us? That's disturbing. No, it couldn't have been. The only place you could have hidden would be in the closet, and I suppose someone could have hidden in the closet. Well, yeah, it's big enough for two people to have sex in. But not for us. She had a few kinks, nothing weird. Yeah, a band from the 60s. I'm not discussing this with you. Clothes, mainly. I did see something that freaked me out a bit. She had a wedding dress in there. She knew I'd seen it, but we never talked about it. Not even as a joke.
Work was difficult, so I went freelance as soon as I could manage to earn enough to make ends meet. Then at least that worked out pretty well. Programming makes me good money. I can work from home and no one misses me if I drop out of circulation for a week or two.
Hi Sam, back from more already?
Or am I just one amongst many vehicles for a single slayer? There surely must be others. Cannot believe I am unique amongst all mankind, and if I am, then why?
No, I think Bronwyn met him though. This morning, he only wanted to see her. I guess he didn't want anyone else to hear what he had to say. Oh, yeah, that's right. All these rooms look the same. Sorry. I was in Bron's room. Ask her.
Careful before he doubles back. I take my time, leaning forward.
Yes, he came to see me. He wanted to know that she was okay, spiritually speaking. No, I wouldn't know how. I'm a tarot reader, not a medium. Maybe I should have pretended though. Made up some fake message from her to give him some comfort. You lie once and you just have to keep going, don't you? Oh, she gets easily confused. Youth of today. Fine. Jeeve Dupont was breathing down our necks, so we thought it would be simpler if we stuck together. If these walls weren't separating our rooms, then technically it'd be true. To protect Lexi. None of this is her fault and she gets anxious easily. I was just trying to take the pressure off. I'm sorry, Sam. I never usually lie. I was logged into Tarotasm. It's a phone reading service and I get paid by the minute. Which, now that I'm saying it, it's not something I really should be bragging about.
Broken body crumbles in my grasp.
Sam, what can I do for you? We didn't. Lexi used a Ouija board to get the name. It's Lexi's thing. I don't personally go near them, but in this case, it did help. No. Lexi needs to give it context from the tarot reading. A lot of the time, it comes up with nothing. Or a sordid comment directed at Lexi. I think that's why she keeps using it, to be honest. Once we thought there was going to be a murder, Lexi used the Ouija board to find out the victim's name. It spelled out the rota. This is going to sound weird. Most people believe Ouija boards contact the dead. So if Lexi contacts a dead person, that person needs to know what happens in the future. Ergo, maybe the person she's contacting is from the future. A time traveler who died here. Yes. Well, not just time travel, time and space travel is also possible. If we accept the fact there are multiple realities, we must also accept there are others like us who found a way to travel between these realities. We're trying to save people. I said we're trying. We have a gift. We have Mercury, the tarot. It tells us where bad things are going to happen, and we try and stop them. Birmingham. We couldn't save anyone there either. The problem with travellers is... Well, let's put a pin in this one, Sam. Let me ask Bronwyn. If she says it's okay to talk about it, it's okay to talk about it.
How many times more he would have to do this? It had been a good while since the last.
She flaunts herself. Her body. Had boudoir photographs taken. Who do you think those photos were for, Sam? Her mother? Ask Zach Weston. He took them. Vicar's son? No, as far as I can tell, Oscar is a good boy. But we've all got different faces now, haven't we, Sam? Masks we wear. I could be a satanic cultist behind closed doors, but you'd never know. Would you, Sam? Zach's the local photographer. You should go and talk to him, Sam. You're good at talking. At Weston's Photographic, off the high road. It's late, but he's always there. I have a good memory. I'm still holding grudges from when I was 4.
For it, they have to put everything back the way it was.
You know what, Poe? I think you might need a promotion.
To
Oh, it's just your run-of-the-mill spirit communication device. Want to know how it works? Cool, okay. So Ouija boards send us messages from the spirit world, right? But where is the spirit world? I mean, there's planets and stars in space. The spirit world must be really far away beyond all that. With so far to travel, messages from the spirit world must take ages to get here. Like how light from the sun takes 8 minutes or something to reach us. You still with me? Ah, you're sweet. Where was I? Oh, so here's my point. The spirit world is actually several hours ahead of us. That's how we get messages about things that haven't happened yet. That's how we got Dorota's name. Because in the spirit world, she was already dead. I know, mind-blowing. Traveller, that's a really old role-playing game, isn't it? Oh, did he now? Well then, you know what I know. I guess you must be a part of our inner circle. How does it feel?
Skin shedding in the darkness. I huddled down and wait for the sunrise, hoping to become a butterfly. But when the sun comes up, I'm still a caterpillar. Now, Poe, what do you think that dream could mean?
I would think she wants to change into something else. But because she...
Any more news on Oscar Wainwright? Figures. Got any proof? Get proof. Then I can haul them in. Yep, that's what you told me too. Not a suspect. Just the tarot readers. No one else is remotely suspicious compared to them. Oscar? Have you spoken to him yet? It's not him.
Handle, and then it kind of looks like a bell shape.
No, not to me anyway. She wasn't into fortune telling or any of that stuff. Yeah, Chief DuPont told me. He thinks it's one of them that killed her. Bronwyn? That's disturbing. That's impossible. I don't think those two ever met. Why would she say that? That's personal. I can't really explain it. I'm just floating at the moment. Nothing seems real. Yeah, but she said she couldn't, so...
Mats are supposed to have that power. They tell you to do something and then you can't resist. Except I think I shot her because I wanted to. It's a long story.
It's Lexi's. I like to think it works the way most metaphysical things work. Through energy. Tarot cards, runes, Ouija boards. They're just devices for asking questions and receiving answers. But energy is what powers them.
Stuff it down the back of my pants. Oh, it's hot. Officer Peters looks me up and down. She's hot too, but not as hot as the gun in the back of my pants. I wince. Yes, officer? We've had a report of gunshot.
I didn't. How did you find out? Am I in trouble? Ron was worried about me not having an alibi. She was logged in doing phone readings, so she's alright. But there's nothing to prove that I was here. I was, though. Cross my heart and hope to die.
So I'll need to be quicker, or maybe run. The window, I could jump, say 20 flights. It's soft, she says. It's then I realize Vanessa's body's gone. Just the throw remains.
It's 7 o'clock, and here's the latest August update. Chief DuPont of August Police is urging residents to be vigilant tonight following the brutal murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Whilst he stresses there is no immediate threat to the community at large, residents should be on the lookout until the killer is in police custody. Miss Shaw was found strangled in her bedroom home last night. Poe, I heard she was found by her mother.
Truly awful. Mother caught me up to all sorts of mischief in my bedroom. Also in the news, emergency services were called to the crossroads at Grange Avenue and Church Street following a collision between two cars. There are no reports of any serious injuries, but you might want to take a different route for now.
Oh no. It's going to be one of those nights, Poe.
Stay with me, doll. I'll keep you safe.
I'm not going anywhere. That's 7 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Right on the couch, just like before I shot her.
Rain says he was praying in his room, alone. Nobody corroborates. Bromman and Lexi lied about their alibis. I'm thinking what to do about it. Apparently, Lexi used a Ouija board to get Dorota's name. The tarot readers mentioned Birmingham. You're looking into it. There's some talk about a traveller, whatever that is. Oscar's not a suspect. He was playing football last night with lots of witnesses. According to Oscar, Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet, which is strange. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. And finally, you pull the name Zach Weston from somewhere, saying he's the town photographer? I've never run into him. Still, I guess I'm not in the papers that much. That's it.
Because you're an automat now. Yeah, because I'm an automat now. She kisses me on the cheek and gives me a gentle push. Now.
Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
The Catch. Read by John Mark Clausen.
It's 7 o'clock, and here's the latest August update. Chief DuPont Police is urging residents to be vigilant tonight following the brutal murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Whilst he stresses there is no immediate threat to the community at large, residents should be on the lookout until the killer is in police custody. Miss Shaw was found strangled in her bedroom home last night. Poe, I heard she was found by her mother.
Truly awful. Mother caught me up to all sorts of mischief in my bedroom. Also in the news, emergency services were called to the crossroads at Grange Avenue and Church Street following a collision between two cars. There are no reports of any serious injuries, but you might want to take a different route for now.
Oh no. It's going to be one of those nights, Poe.
Stay with me, doll. I'll keep you safe.
I'm not going anywhere. That's 7 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Lopsided sparrows flapping around his kitchen. One robin, several blackbirds, usually downy fledgling.
Sorry, we're closed. Come back tomorrow or make an appointment online. Yes. What do you want? I already told the police she did all those things of her own accord. I didn't force her to do anything. Oh! Dorota Shaw. Sorry. I'm afraid I didn't know her that well. For the August Chronicle. She won some sort of award. I remember her cello. It kept reflecting the flash and ruining the shot. No, I went to her house, along with the reporter. It's better with these human interest stories to capture them in a natural habitat. If you asked me to drive there without my sat-nav, no. No, actually, I've been running a special offer on portraits since she came in for a studio session. Wait there. As you can see, there's photos here. Her on the cello. Now this one's in colour. Beautiful hair. Oh, legs wrapped around. Another one here. Oh, hang on. Do you see what I see? Nothing. She's just a very attractive girl. That's all. What do you mean? Violet needs to mind her own business. I didn't want to mention them out of respect for the dead. You've heard of boudoir photography. It's all very tasteful. Boudoir photographs are all about leading the eye and letting the imagination do the work. Most photographers mess it up. It's not supposed to resemble a Victorian whorehouse. Yeah, she didn't say. Her boyfriend, I assume. Would you like to see them? As you can see, it's all very artistic. Dorota was a natural. She lit up the front of the camera. Want to see the videos? Oh. Here they are. Oh, not that one. This is the one. Here you go. There's more. This is the stuff. She's, how you say, acting? Friends, yes. I know Violet very well. Violet takes it very well, actually. I like them like that. With a frosty exterior comes a soft, warm centre. I'm sorry my analogy wasn't explicit enough for you. Yes, we have sex. Here. I'm usually here most nights. I live here, detective. Long story short, I'm divorced. My wife bought the house, my business is all I have left.
Until she returns. I wade across the puddle gathering at the base of the ramp. My thumb caresses the safety, ensuring it's off. As I
No? Who's that? Never heard of him. Who what? Boudoir photos? She sent some private photos to me by phone. Do you mean them? Yeah, I'll put them in an album for you. No.
her hospital gown smothered in blood. The fourth hits a square in the chest. I put another there, and another. The seventh slows her approach to a stagger. The eighth forces her to her knees. Just a few...
Sam, look, I can't talk right now. I'm doing phone readings. Gotta pay for a jaunt somehow. Lexi's locked in till 8 too. I can sort you out afterwards, yeah?
Spraying crimson, she spills backward onto the concrete slope. My legs fail, and I slide my back against.
I met him yesterday, doing the rounds, looking for reading work. Actually, he did mention the rota. He said there was this girl he was planning to meet up with. Said she was alone every Monday night because her parents go to the cinema. Do you know what that means? It was the rota Shaw. Fine, Sam. Birmingham. Mercury took us to Birmingham. We didn't know what for. We never really know what for. But we turned up. It started with a girl. Ginny. She was South African. I only mention it because that was its thing. Yeah. We didn't know at the time, but in hindsight, it was after South African girls. 3 to be exact. The Traveller wanted 3. You should ask Bronwyn. She's the one that knows about rights. I just know it normally involves 3, and all 3 share a common attribute. I guess you might call them demons, in as much as they can get inside us. They come from other worlds. Kind of, yeah. Quantum physics is real, didn't you know? There are many universes. In technical terms, a traveller is a trans-dimensional being far more superior to us, in as much as they can choose which reality to hang out in. We just get this one. Yes, disturbingly. It's actually a lot more complicated than that. They choose a reality/universe where they actually evolve to become the person they're possessing. So they jump in a few million years before our timelines intersect. They can't just jump into someone. It takes a few hours for that. They make the decision before they travel, which is why we can catch them. Yes, probably. The tarot doesn't just sat-nav us to normal murders.
Oh, so he is achieving his goals.
So, what I think is happening here is that you are striving.
I'm Zach Weston, just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
Thank you for your dreams.
You're listening to Radio Dark Night with Poe and Monroe.
The sprinklers hissed down. Clutching his spare magazine. Need to count the bullets. 9. Just 9.
Zach, let me stop you there. You are one creepy fellow. Now, I don't know what you had going on with Dorota, but I don't want anything to do with it. Do not come back here. Please.
Jimmy's already dead. I am the cavalry. Dr. Thatcher's black BMW.
Zach! What are you doing here? Quick, don't let anyone see you.
Why don't you want anyone to see me?
What? You're the one who said we shouldn't be seen together. What are you doing here?
I wanted to make sure we were still okay.
What did you do? What did you say to Sam?
Everyone's talking about Dorota. Are you happy Dorota's dead?
I didn't say that. But we both know what Dorota was like. She practically threw herself at you.
She didn't throw herself at me.
Don't play games with me, Zach. You know how insecure I get.
Everyone's talking about Dorota.
She had already been here once. It was just a matter of time until she returns. I wait across the puddle gathering at the base of the ramp.
Everyone's talking.
I know. But I suppose people like that attract trouble.
People like what?
Homewreckers. Anyway, I hope you didn't just come here to talk about Dorota.
Her hospital gown smothered in blood. The 4th hits her square in the chest. I put another there, and another. The 7th slows her approach to a stagger. The 8th forces her to her knees, just a few feet down slope. And howls. Eyes locked, I put that 9th bullet straight.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
It is my sobbing, and the sprinklers. Until Emma slowly rises.
Well, hello, gorgeous.
Did you hear about Dorota? I came over last.
Well, that explains why there was no answer when I called you. I was definitely here.
Did you hear about Dorota?
Everyone in town's heard. She's a local celebrity now.
Local celebrity?
Famous for being murdered? That's how she'll be remembered anyway.
With several others, similar sculptures, in a tunnel of caves in Mexico. Oh, I picked it up on eBay. It's supposed to be proof that aliens have visited our planet.
Now that's a thought.
But, I just thought it looked nice. Did you think so?
It's frightening that it's from so long ago.
To be honest, it might just have been someone imagining that that's what aliens look like. Or it could be an observation of someone actually encountering someone who looks like this.
Hello, I'm Rain. I'm Rain. Okay.
Just hand it to you, B.
I have never seen anything like this. So, it feels heavy again. And I think I want to say...
Rain! I'm surprised to see you here. I take it you know about Dorota already. All that stuff we talked about yesterday, that's strictly between you and me.
What stuff?
That's the spirit. Now, I think it's best if we don't get caught speaking to each other. Overcautious, I'm sure, but I think it's for the best nonetheless. Maybe we can get together for a lad's night out after this is all blown over. Yeah?
Okay. No, thanks.
Don't be like that. I'm not the bad guy here, you'll see. Maybe some other time then.
Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. Okay, so please explain to the listeners what the object is that you are holding.
It's wooden, and...
Correct.
It's got engravings on it. I think they're animals?
There could be animals.
I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do?
Leon? Like a coat or...
You could do that, but it's hold item.
I honestly...
I doubt you've ever... Mangle.
A mangle?
Yeah.
For clothing?
Yeah. Its only job is... That's what it is.
Really?
Yeah. Nobody takes that amount of care nowadays. But this particular mangle was used to crush 4 young women.
Oh my gosh.
They were all identical quadruplets, aged 17. Apparently, their essence remains ingrained in the mangle.
Sensing the thing with Bronwyn went badly.
Why did you put me up to it?
I need all hands on deck. You're a hand. At least I thought you were.
Nothing happened.
Never mind. At least you tried.
Is there anything else I can do?
No, you've done enough. I'll keep up my end of the bargain, make those speeding tickets go away, though technically you'd have more points than a hedgehog if I kept them. And if I do catch you speeding in August again, Oscar, instant ban. Capiche?
Yes.
Yes.
If it moved on, maybe escape was possible, but it just floated in the island. The vacant penthouse had a hallucinatory quality. Dimly lit in blue, through the tall glass windows that
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
weed and tentacles, each topped with an eyeball, only they weren't, except for a moment. The head of deep sea horror, ringed with row on row of teeth, and yet there it was, until altering its form like camouflage, playing with the images and thoughts all called from its victims. There it floated, and then it turned to face me. Run or die, the door gave. Footsteps echoed on wood, up by a nightmare. A cold gaze grasped at my back. The air was thickened mud. Limbs slowed with each. A blink, and there it was, clutching my shoulders with spider-like fingers.
It's 8 o'clock and time for another August update. Police investigating the death of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw have said there's no evidence to connect her boyfriend to the murder. Chief DuPont's statement was delivered in response to speculation from local residents that it was a crime of passion. Miss Shaw's strangled body was found by her mother around 10 p.m. last night in what the chief is calling a puzzling crime.
I can't believe people are gossiping already, Poe.
It's always the person closest to the victim, isn't that what they say?
But that poor boy. A reminder also that due to the murder, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced soon. The weather's getting worse tonight with heavy rain forecast. So if you're heading out, you might want to take a jacket. Or a cab.
Or wear the jacket in the cab. That's 8 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Sam, I've got news. We've done a reading.
So 5 of Swords. That's the same card as yesterday.
Let's hope it's not the Knight of Wands. This doesn't look good.
It's fine. This happens all the time. There are 78 cards in a deck. The same ones come up a lot.
I get it, but we drew the exact same cards yesterday. What are the odds of pulling all 3 again?
1 in 474,552. I know. I get asked a lot.
Bet it's a 10 of Swords.
It's happening again. There's going to be another murder. Then Lexi did her thing, and now we have a name. Alice Munro.
Of my face and into my mouth, stretching it wide. The bag lady gapped its bile-stained mouth over.
Sam, do me a favour, go easy on Violet. If we need to get anything out of her, let me deal with it. She'll open up to me. We've got a new target, Alice Munro. Rain still says he was praying in his room, alone. Bronwyn and Lexi lied about being together last night. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. Zach Weston says he was in his studio last night. No one corroborates. Oscar's in the clear. He was playing football last night. He said that Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet. Not many people would know that. That's it.
To observe for the bag lady, to do its bidding.
You must be Sam.
I just got off the phone with Chief DuPont. I can't believe it. First Dorota, now me. Yes, we were friends. I hadn't known her for long, only a few weeks. We met at the gala. I was hosting and she was playing the cello, you know? I guess we talked for a little while and then she asked me for a drink after the show. After we'd had a few drinks, she invited me back to her house. I thought we were just gonna chat, watch a movie, that sort of thing. Then she kissed me. I was so shocked. She was so attractive. So I kissed her back. This is just between us, right? We fooled around. I don't have many friends, Sam. Everyone thinks because I'm on the radio, I have tons of friends, so nobody ever approaches me. I get lonely. But Dorota was my friend, and I liked making her happy. I'm not going into detail, Sam. We pledged each other multiple times. Oscar, yeah. She was a bit confused. When we started seeing each other, she didn't like him touching her anymore. I didn't mind, but she did. So I told her if he wanted to get sexual, then maybe she should try something else. I said some guys like to watch, so tell him it would be sexy if he could look but he couldn't touch. As far as I know, it worked. She told Oscar to watch from her walk-in wardrobe. When he was at a safe distance, she put on a show. She faked it. She told me she faked it. But you'd know best. I don't think so. We were very discreet. It was more fun that way. Not very well. He's done a few shoots of me and Poe to promote the show. He's fine. He keeps asking me to pose for him, you know, without any clothes on. I always say no. We're co-hosts on the radio. Oh, sorry. You know that already. We've been partners for 2 years now. He's a good friend. He's on air at the moment, but he'll be finished at 8:30. On air? We both were. We broadcast live hourly news reports. It's how we keep our funding. No. Sorry. I did have a strange dream last night, though. My life was playing on a TV screen, and every time I did something, another version of me started playing over the first. In the end, there were so many versions it became a fog. It filled my lungs. I couldn't breathe. And then I woke up. What do you think that means, Sam? REM sleep. So, you don't think dreams mean anything? Everyone has meaningful dreams, Sam. Everyone. Just don't hurt me. Or let me get hurt. Sam? You forgot your phone. You do? You will still be as ordinary as you were before, because the skin shedding relates to personal transformation.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I was close, but your explanation is so much nice.
Thank you for your dreams.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Night with Poe and Monroe.
You're only alive because we want you to be.
Hi, I'm Ellis. I'm Ellis.
I slide the magazine into the Smith & Wesson. Lockdown sirens blare, but the cavalry's not coming. Jimmy's already... Cavalry. Dr. Thatcher's black BMW is strewn on its side, engine crushed against the concrete wall. It's in... I limp past the wreck towards the exit ramp. At the top, a reinforced steel wall now separates the world. And with my back against it, I may have time to take me. She's fast. Too fast for Jimmy to hit. She tore straight through his gut, pulling out his spine like an afterthought. I grabbed his gun and ran as she shredded the screaming lab techs like paper dolls. There's If 8 bullets can't stop her, I'll eat the 9th. Eggheads on smoke break told Jimmy that the Emma project had failed. Gene pattern was unstable or some such bullshit. Sent down to the vault for further military evaluation, like the rest of Thacker's creations. Is open. I raise Jimmy's gun, but she's in cover before I can aim.
Excellent work. Gold star for you. Oh, hello. This is my goddaughter, Sophia. She's only 9 and she's a maths genius.
Hello.
I have to pop to my room to get something. Be nice to her while I'm gone. Otherwise, I might have to smother you in your sleep.
What's your name? I'm Sophia. Pleased to meet you. You want to know a secret? Violet talks to aliens. Are you an alien?
Sorry about that. Sophia, your mother will be here for you soon, so run along and wait. Now, Sam, how can I help you? She has a wicked imagination for her age. I was seeing and hearing things that weren't there. That's why I'm taking pills. I needed to confide in someone, so I told Chief Dupont. Just Chief Dupont. And now you, apparently. Why are you talking about this again? You understand, every time you mention abduction, it opens up a vault of crushing memories that I'd rather stay locked up. No. Not even the moon. I don't really want to. About a month ago, the guest house was empty and I was alone in my bedroom. All I could hear was dripping. Cold tap. Drip. 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 And then it began. I could smell iron, a strong metallic smell. Then I could taste it on my tongue. And then weightlessness, like time and space had stopped. That was the first time they took me. It's happened 5 times, even on clozapine. Get that strange aura, then I'm gone. Eye tests for epilepsy, amongst other things. But all the scans were normal. No. I have certain flashbacks. It's difficult to explain. I'm stuck in the wall of an enormous room made from these wooden vines, except the vines slowly move and drip with pain. My head is pushed out like I'm a trophy. If I look to my side, there are others, heads, all prisoners, being experimented on. They rearrange us like decorations, suck us backwards into the darkness and then thrust us back through the wall. And when they return me home, I'm broken. Cuts. Bruises. Memories. Of course! Poe and Monroe. She's on the radio.
Bullets rip holes through her chest, and blood arcs ferociously from the wounds. She staggers with each impact.
I've heard on the radio, but other than that, I don't know anything about her. I want to help though. That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Although we can be sure of one thing. Yeah, she sounded blonde on the radio, but Mercury called her as a redhead. A little bit. What did you want to know? A rite can take many forms, but from what we know about these travelers, it seems to be performing some kind of coming-of-age ceremony. Yes, a rite of passage. Running havoc in our dimension is rewarded in theirs. Not fair, is it? 3 is a powerful number. There's a divine balance to it, in our universe anyway. But maybe it doesn't mean anything where the traveler's from. Maybe 3 is just the carry-on limit for interdimensional travel. No. I can do a reading if you want. Chariot. Is Zach a suspect? I'm sensing there's a lot of tension, pent-up frustration, like he's trying to keep everything together, and if he can just do that... I'm sorry, that's not much help to you, is it? Yes, of course. Anything. Why Violet? Do you think she's in danger? You don't think she's involved, do you? Leave it with me, I'll see what I can find out. And don't worry, I'll be super discreet.
Dose enough to kill me 5 times over. I suspect I survived because the beast wasn't ready to relinquish its host. I spent 7 weeks at a mental institution trying...
So what's the news about Ellis? I feel so useless sitting here. I want to help. Yes, please use me. Tell me what to do. Who's that? Is he a suspect? I guess he must be. Okay, I'm on the case. Just give me a minute to get ready and I'll be off.
looking for trouble. The gates of madness open at midnight. There's no point in trying to fight it, so I have to try and keep as much control as I can. Out there, it's a chill night, and the surveillance cameras. I take the train down to King's Cross.
In Birmingham, it was a man called Yuri Harris. He worked as a butcher. He beheaded all 3 girls within hours of each other. And we couldn't stop it. He pleaded not guilty for reason of temporary insanity. The Butcher of Birmingham received 3 life sentences and won't be seeing the light of day anytime soon. We know it wasn't him, though. We know it was a traveller. Yes, I met her at the radio station. I was offering my services. Earning a living's tricky when you travel around as much as we do. And last time I checked, Violet wasn't offering us room and board for free.
Since he has slipped into the dark of a doorway, the distraction passes,
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
I once watched it overwhelm 3 skinheads who thought I was their victim, and they were young, strong, and used to getting stuck in. It was worse the second time. I'd convinced myself normal life. Wrong. So wrong. At least I knew what to do when the dream started. I was able to prepare, get some clothes together, do a bit of... Second time. It still tore my head apart when the beast came through. I tried to defy the beast a couple of times, but I've had to cut myself off from any close relationships if I wanted to have any kind of worthwhile lifestyle. Wife is out of the question.
Hello, lovely. Take a look at this. It's a picture of Dorota.
I don't want to see pictures of your conquests.
It's not like that. It's just a press photo. Do you see anything in it?
A girl holding a cello.
Beautiful lady. I can make you look like that, Violet. You just need to let me.
Worked out pretty well. Programming makes me good money. I can work from home and no one misses me if I drop out of circulation for a week or two. I find myself wondering how many others, or am I just one amongst many vehicles for a single slayer? There's surely... I believe I am unique amongst all mankind, and if I am, then why me? I've tried to be discriminating in my victims. No true innocents have been fed to the beast, though that first time was pretty close. But everyone since has put themselves in my path. It's a way to live with the monstrosity of it. It's barbaric, but at least I tell myself the Slayer only takes those that the world is better off.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn. I'm Bronwyn.
Pass, but he, and it is always he, is just being careful before he doubles back. I take my time, leaning forward, hands on hips. The Slayer quivers with anticipation within me. Hey mate, you got a light? His voice is higher pitched than I expected. Nerves.
Do you believe Tara can predict things now?
I'm not one for mystics and crystal balls. I'm a Virgo.
It says you're lying about your alibi.
Is it really? Can it predict the murderer? No. Of course not. You'd have done that already.
He had more choices about his life than me. Fuck you! Give me the money! He pulls out the knife from inside his jacket. 8 inches.
What a day. Alice Munro, then. Looks like our traveller likes redheads.
I wouldn't be so sure. Looks that way.
Should we be worried about Violet?
Maybe. She thinks she was abducted by aliens.
Then that possibly means she's already been a traveller target. What else did she say?
Something about being in a row of heads?
So they're killing us for sport. Sounds about right.
As the left reaches the knife from his, dislocating his elbow, blood gushes.
Bron, what are we going to do about Ellis?
What would you do about Ellis?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
Let's think. What have we tried before?
A few times we've caught up with the Traveller, nothing's worked.
Talking to them?
don't kill that person. Okay, thanks. Oh no, look, you killed them anyway. You know that doesn't work, Ron.
Expecting it to flutter in the air, the torn wrapper of a toothsome morsel. The ecstasy fades, recalling me to the cold. Time to get out of here. Not running. That and purposefully away from the broken heap and past a couple of stops, missing one bus. A thin drizzle mists the...
Who are you? What are you doing in my house? Get out now before I call the police!
By the time the night bus arrives, the high has passed, leaving me drained and depressed. The time, I pay the driver and head for the back of the bus, sit by a window and watch London go by as through the grimy glass. Then there's another long walk through the rain, the tiredness dragging on my legs, the muscles taut with...
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Lexi.
Put in order. The clothes I wore are bagged and ready for disposal. Because there will be a next time and another after.
Lexi Corn, how thin are these walls?
What do you mean the walls are thin?
I can hear you screaming at your Ouija board. Last night too. I feel like I've heard your whole life story.
What did you hear?
Does Sam like me? Is Violet a lesbian? Will Ellis die? Will Bronwyn die? That last one, don't worry about that.
Why not?
I'm gonna stick around until you're sick of the sight of me, alright? I'm not in any danger. Ellis is in danger. Sam's in danger.
Yes. It had been a good while since the last. Maybe now he was so frail the beast would release him and grant him peace in his final years. Surely it owed him that. In his heart he doubted it was over. Merciful. Back in the deep shadow beneath the broken street.
Our job is so stressful.
Tell me about it. Chasing around the unknown, trying to triumph good over evil, generally standing around helpless watching people die.
Why do we do it? Why don't we just quit? Why do we...
For me, it's a common decency thing. Hi, I'm Bronwyn. Did you know the Earth was overrun by transdimensional evil? Want to help fix it? Sure.
Transdimensional evil?
I'll read the manual, Lex. People are afraid of ghosts, zombies, and aliens. They never even think to consider the possibility that there are millions of universes, potentially with millions of predators, all far more evolved than we are. What are our chances of victory? Minuscule. But if we don't fight at all, 0.
That spring, we lucked out with a broken fire door, easy access to the stairwells, the room service carts, and a roof with a view to die for. In our idle chatter.
Sorry, we're closed. Unless you're here for something else.
I'm a friend of Dorota's.
Dorota. Sorry about what happened.
Dorota told me things about you.
Things? That's ominously vague. I'm not sure what you mean. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Lexi.
Lexi? I like it. It's got an edge.
Dorota says she knew you.
Yeah, she had a portrait session with me. Can I get you a drink?
No thanks. Sure.
Here, I've only got vodka. You're old enough to drink, right?
Of course. Does it matter?
I like you already.
You're dating Violet, aren't you?
No, we're just friends.
That's not what you told Sam.
Violet doesn't always see things clearly. It's fine. I know how to handle her.
Doesn't see what clearly? What do you mean, handle her?
I know how to talk to her. She's a sweetheart when you get to know her.
I know what you did to Dorota.
As always, can string these things together.
Well, you weren't far off. There are different elements here that I'd like to discuss. So, firstly, the idea of a circus. Now, when you go to the circus, it's massive and it's hated. But what it actually relates to is being out of control. Now, the tightrope itself, what is one of the main things you have to consider when you're walking on a tightrope?
I'm Zach Weston. Just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
Being something negative, but in this case, the sharks actually refer to the negative people that are in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think we should break up. I need to talk about Ellis Monroe. I think we should break up.
Why do you want to break up?
I don't love you. I'm cheating on you.
We don't have to break up. We can put it behind us as long as you promise me she was your last.
I need to talk about Ellis Monroe.
What have you been doing with Ellis Monroe?
What haven't I been doing?
You are so irritating.
Want to fool around?
No, I do not. I've got more important things to do, Zach.
well, this is certainly interesting. This, I would say you have to hold with two hands. And so I'd say it's heavy because it's made out of metal. There's some color on there as well. I think it's like a green. It's like green.
Yes, what kind of situation or scene do we have depicted?
What I think I can see is perhaps two people in combat.
Could be combat.
Hello, I'm Rain. I'm Rain. I'm Rain. Okay.
This is one of many painted leaden plates.
Who is Sophia?
You saw her, did you? She's my goddaughter, at that age where she overshares.
Is she a ghost?
What makes you say that, Rain? Is there something about her aura?
Never really ended well. I mean, that's...
What is it, Ray?
I have a plan.
You do? Enlighten me.
Maybe Ellis should stay with us.
With our track record, if she gets killed anywhere near us, we'll be sent to jail, whether we did it or not.
That's cold.
I know it seems harsh, but without us, who's saving the rest of the world?
Maybe a shiny metal?
Mm-hmm.
And
Where do you think it's from? What is this from?
Europe?
No.
Hi, Rain. Did you miss me while I was gone?
So?
I'm honestly not going to try and worry about this one. We've told Sam, and I think that's all we can do.
Really? Well, what's Sam going to do?
I believe Sam is going to save Ellis. According to the Ouija, this could play out in a lot of different ways, but mostly saving Ellis.
What other ways?
Ellis could run, Ellis could die, Ellis could be saved, mistaken identity, someone else dies. There's a lot of noise coming from the beyond, but it's not just a load of voices saying Ellis will die. Sam's got this.
Mira.
You're right. Well done, Monroe.
Wow.
But it's not just a mirror. It's something you might do your makeup in or check your hairstyle. By the way, you have impeccable hairstyle today.
Thank you very much,
as usual. But it was used. You could look in the mirror, close your eyes, think of being somewhere else, and you're there.
Should we try it now?
No, I've tried it. It doesn't work for me.
Oh.
Maybe it works for you. You try it.
Okay, so I'm just going to imagine somewhere else. Hi, I'm Ellis. I'm Ellis.
This curiosity shop. Okay, Alice, this is what I brought in today. What do you think it is?
Oh.
Tell the listeners a bit more about what the object is that I brought in today.
So it's quite small, fits in the palm of your hand, and it's a small man wearing robes, and he looks like he's in...
Where could he be from, this man?
I'm not sure, actually. He's maybe a Buddhist?
What would you say is his profession?
Something religious, I suppose.
Yeah. Well done.
But why is he in pain?
Very good question. I can answer that for ancient Chinese, seated and howling.
Oh.
It's called the Screaming Muck. Busan accidentally glimpsed Queen Anchisenamun undressing, the wife.
I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do?
Hadn't seen this.
Poe's Curiosity Shop is now. Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. That I've just handed to you. What do you think it is?
Well, I'm not. What I do know is that it has three circles all attached in the center. But I'm not sure. I mean, I suppose today you could wear it as a brooch, maybe.
Why might people wear this?
But they tie it around themselves, perhaps? Attach it to some.
Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Legend says that it wards off evil spirits while traversing.
Claude.
When in August, one of those.
Poe's Curiosity Shop.
Chief, what a surprise to see you. Again.
Why didn't you tell me Ellis was next?
I told you Dorota was first. And that didn't turn out very well, did it? Let's hope Sam does a better job than you did.
Breathing seems so loud when you want to stay hidden. Time oozed like closet peering through the crack. It floated there in the center of the light. If it moved on, maybe escape was possible, but it just floated in the middle of the empty room, eerily silent. The vacant penthouse had a...
Chief, I wanted to ask you something.
Is it about the boudoir photos?
Am I still a suspect?
Yes. No.
Okay. Good. Listen, I think I might get out of this place soon. I need some space.
Is it about the boudoir photos?
Yeah. So it's true then?
I haven't seen them. I'm sorry.
I'm just in shock. All the time. How could she be so different? I just can't process it all.
The head was a monster, ringed with row on row of teeth, too impossibly large.
Chief DuPont, thanks for calling in.
I'm just checking you're safe.
At the moment, my heart's beating 1,000 times a minute and I can't sit still. Every noise or knock on the door makes me jump out of my skin, and I keep looking behind me. Is that safe?
Have I ever let you down? What's really worrying you?
That you're just saying you're doing things when you're not actually doing anything. What's the plan, Chief DuPont? How do we stop this from happening? How do we stop me from dying?
And then, stuck. I accepted my fate, hoped it would be over quickly. A blink, and there it was, clutching my shoulders with spider-like fingers.
Hello, I'm Rain. I'm Rain. Okay.
I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do?
Corpse. But the entity did not understand the concept of water or air. Living or dead. These things were all alien to it and meaningless. Of its first victim, a homeless lady named Bethany. Bethany had lived a life of addiction, survived on a steadily dwindling income from prostitution as age, drugs, and street life took their toll on her market value. Until she ended up in the clutches of the entity in an empty penthouse lair, and the entity had devoured her and taken her form. Decomposing reality. A twisted amalgam of fears and haunting.
It's 9 o'clock and you're listening to Radio August. Investigations into the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw are continuing this evening. Miss Shaw was found dead in her home at approximately 10 p.m. last night in what police are describing as a puzzling case. Residents are urged to be cautious until the perpetrator is caught. I cannot stress this enough, August. Stay safe out there. You mean the world to me. In other news, Monroe has been detained on urgent business, so you're stuck with me until she returns. Never fear, Monroe fans. We still have lots of pre-recordings, so you can relax with her angelic tones. That's 9 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Up into my nasal cavity, and then up further, until it was crawling inside my brain. Panic, panic! And gradually, as the worm settled, panic...
You're the detective. Monroe just called. This is madness. Who would want to hurt her? We've worked together for years. She's the light to my shade, the angel to my demon, the diamond to my lump of coal. She told me to say all those things. Heavens no. I have a wife and 3 children, beloved spawn of my loins. Monroe and I are good friends, that's all. Only a madman. Or woman. Monroe is August's sweetheart. Poe and Monroe. That was her idea. Our show. We were just another local radio station before that. It was Monroe who decided we should have a theme. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe. Don't tell me you haven't heard it, detective. That's what the Free Radio Project is all about. Uniting August via the airwaves. Monroe's been delivering free radios anywhere people might want to listen. Doctor surgeries, hairdressers, the guest house. I believe she charmed the local electrical store into donating them, in exchange for free advertising, of course. We interviewed her about her scholarship not too long ago. Do you think whoever killed Dorota plans to kill Monroe? What makes you think she's in danger? Arrow. Does this have anything to do with the gentleman who stopped by? No, I didn't get his name, I'm afraid. He offered to do a spot on our show, doing tarot readings to answer listener questions. We said we'd think about it. You know, this town is fascinating. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Have you ever read up on the real history of August? The official story is that Mary August retired from a life on the high seas, found a nice spot here, and used her ill-gotten gains to establish a town. But that's not what really happened. It's true that Mary August was a pirate, but she didn't retire. Her ship was sunk on the rocks just off the coast. Mary and all of her crew sought refuge in a small fishing town, this one. They slaughtered everyone, men, women, and children, all dead and dismembered in their own homes. The bodies were dumped in a mass grave. Well, the body parts. And the pirates moved in. Yes, August was built on the blood of innocents. Kind of puts De Rota's murder into perspective, doesn't it? On that note, I should probably get back to the booth. The show must go on. Death threats be damned. Look after Monroe, detective. She's the only Monroe I've got.
I would say a mirror, a handheld mirror.
You're right. Well done, Monroe.
Wow.
But it's not just a mirror. It's something you might do your makeup in or check your hairstyle. By the way, you have impeccable hairstyle.
Oh, it's you. I was hoping it might be Zach. No? Oh, him, yes. I've heard him on the radio. Never met in real life, though. Are you mocking me, Sam? No, I have never met the man. No. And I've got some very important news for him if he ever shows up. Yes. If he ever shows up. Yes, now I remember. It's the one in the hall. Sometimes cuts through the unbearable silence in this place. I'd remember her voice, but her face. That's very plain, isn't it?
She was 13 again, sucking on stolen sauce packets from the school canteen.
Sorry, Sam, what can I do for you? Yeah, I always cry around this time of night. What's the point, Sam, huh? If we can't save them. Mercury is a curse. It's like some tourist guide for murders. I try for Alexi and Rain to make them think that we can make a difference, make a change, but we haven't so far. What if we can't make a change? Maybe if we could just save one person, Sam. Alice. We need to save her. We need to. Yes, she's definitely got a monkey on her back. I saw her get changed. She's got all these scars on her back in the shape of a monkey. Like they've been burned into her. What the hell happened to her, Sam? Yes, I managed to sneak a look at her laptop. She's been Googling Ellis Munro.
Apps. When Penn stole a breadcrumb from the kitchen counter, the pair.
Honestly, you don't. Once they're caught, a few hours later, they've hopped timelines into someone else. We just keep chasing them, continuously trying to stop them ruining lives. Yes, but it kills the vessel too. So, you could have a traveller inside you right now, and if I killed you, you'd both be dead. I'm not sure.
Animals? And some people might interpret them as animals.
But there's...
It was weird. Zach thought he'd already met me. Why would that be, Sam? That's what I thought, although I'm sure he said my name. Anyway, I did find out one thing. He has a massive collection of books about serial killers. What's that about? He's off the radio. I don't really know him. Actually, I'm glad you're here. I really, really want to do a reading for you right now. You know, to help. Great. Let me just draw 3 cards for you. This is just a general reading. You don't need a question. Okay. Oh, the 2 of Cups. That's mysterious. Is there anyone you feel a spark of attraction to? Maybe someone you've met recently? The Lovers. I did not expect that. It seems this attraction has the potential to be life-changing, if you want it to be. And finally, the Knight of Cups. This card is about pursuing your heart's desire. I think it's time to tell that someone special how you really feel. Wow, what an interesting reading. Does it mean anything to you? You catch on quickly, don't you, Sam?
We lucked out with a broken fire door, easy access to the stairwells, the room service carts, and a roof with a view to die for. In our idle chatter, I pieced together fragments of Tenzin's story.
Hey, I'm going. There's too many people asking questions, it's exhausting. I'm off to stay at my aunt's. I'll come back tomorrow, but I've said everything I can say.
I close my eyes as the concrete rises up to embrace me. There are infinite realities, he said, and we always exist in the one we believe is most true. The roof of the Dreamtime Hotel was littered with Tenzin's white cigarette butts, like scattered finger bones. He gave me one.
Don't get excited, detective. I did a criminology course. They make you buy the books. Probably right here. Why? I didn't realize I was under house arrest. Thanks for the advice. I hope I'm not the only suspect.
After Mother died, Penn started putting on weight. The pasty roll of fat that bulged over the waist of her jeans secretly pleased her. It was her own little fat roll.
I delivered radios all over town. I don't think I should have bothered with some of them, though. I don't think... Violet, is it? I don't think Violet liked me very much. Maybe. I don't know why anyone would be threatened by me, though. I'm not interested in stealing anyone's man.
She said, as Penn reached for a slice of bread. Opening the fridge. Then, it had been easy to stay thin. Now, without Mother, Penn failed like she failed everything else.
Don't confirm the existence of travelers. They're not ready.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
All this proved one thing. Penn still needed her mother. The first appointment at the clinic cost most of Mother's jewelry. Then there was the vessel to pay. Clothing. Even so, a human vessel was out of the question.
Violet, I'm actually a bit tied up at the moment. Well, in danger, actually.
Why don't you like me?
What? I like everyone. What makes you say that?
You're trying to take Zach from me. You told Sam I didn't like you.
No, I don't think so. I don't like Zach in that way. Maybe in any way, even. So we can be friends now?
Yes.
Amazing. I've got a lot going on at the moment, which hopefully I'll get through. And if I do, I'll come and see you at the guest house sometime. Okay?
All together. And just like that, Penn pulled herself together. After a couple of weeks, Penn's little fat roll shrank away. dreamed of keeping. In truth, the parrot was for eyesight, perhaps. When Penn stole a breadcrumb from the kitchen counter, the parrot, "Crumb," it sang. "What a joke you are!"
Hello, I'm Rain.
Bones. And then, after a while,
Why do you think the killer's chosen Ellis?
Because she sees her as a threat. Or he.
Stone Tower, and it just keeps going up and up and up. And
It's getting closer, isn't it?
What's getting closer?
The event. Whatever's going to happen to Ellis. I can feel it.
Do you think this John Pope?
I doubt it. As far as I know, they're live on air a lot of the time, and not sure he could have nipped out, murdered Dorota, and made it back for the news at 10.
So it could be him then?
It could be anyone. It could be you, Ray.
So, what I think is happening here is that you are striving for success.
Hey.
How's the Ouija?
Full of annoying voices that aren't helping me. I've only just got back from the photographer's place, so I haven't had a chance to go at it yet.
Say anything about me?
I didn't ask it about you. Do you think I should?
No. Yes.
Alrighty, stay there and I'll think of a question. Okay, let's see. Oh dear. I asked it if you were still the same Rain I knew and loved.
Shared air, a passing germ, a gentle touch. But this monster was not that limited. All this needed was an audience.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
Curiosity. It made infecting one after another as easy as walking past the bridge, past the nearly empty house, the field of stones. First domino to be pushed down. She was young. They usually are. They're easier to infect. It took time for her fall, but the demon knew. Sooner or later she would. Patient. Ever. Until the virus got her. The demon could only enjoy that girl trapped in his teeth. Tipping point when she would finally cut her strings and fly. There was a process to this. The young, susceptible, high-risk groups all
Hi, I'm Bronwyn. I'm Bronwyn.
in place, pushing lungs out of the way until breathe. Whispers in the heart of his host until there would be nothing left.
What can we do to help Ellis?
Haven't we done enough? Not many people get to know when they're going to die, let alone get the chance to avoid it. We've given Ellis a huge advantage.
So what should we do?
Maybe Sam's her lucky charm. Anything short of an apocalypse would be considered a victory at this point.
Now it was just a waiting game, until she got to her lonely, nearly empty home every night, night after night. When she finally had enough of the burning in...
What are you doing now?
I don't know. I don't want to lie about my alibi again, though. What should I do?
Log into Tarotasm.
Good idea. I'll stay in my room, log in, and wait for you to give me the all clear. Then they'll know I'm not a suspect. You're the best.
Calm. Take my ring, she'd say. I know I love it, but I don't need it anymore. When I'm gone, Mum will take care of my cat. No one will miss me anyway. No one heard her. They never do. But more than that, humans don't want to be impaired. Succumb to the sickness, or tried at least. Girls almost never get it right on the first try. Her red hair fanned out around her pillow as she laid back, holding the bottle above her, note on the pillow beside her, her final bedfellow. Pills don't hurt, right? She'd been like this.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Lexi.
No longer a burden, no more pain. But of course there was more. Pills.
It's going to be soon. Whatever happens to Alice, it will be soon.
How do you know it's going to be soon?
I can sense it. Are you not picking anything up, Lex? There's a traveller nearby.
No. How do you know all this?
Mescaline mainly, but I don't recommend you try it. Do you really want to hear this?
Yes.
At uni, I read a book by Aldous Huxley called The Doors of Perception. He takes mescaline and basically trips his balls off. And the party girl I used to be thought, yay. My experience wasn't anything like his, though. People looked like tiny rainbow outlines, and I would notice that some of them would just appear from nowhere. Those ones, the ones from nowhere, I think they're the travelers. They kind of merge into one person, and suddenly there's only one outline. That's what I see. But you, no drugs for you, young lady. Tea and nothing else, all right?
Good. They were more successful. After the first domino falls, the rest... He was a football player. Big, loud, and sure. Good.
So, aliens. Violet. What are we thinking, Lex?
Violet and aliens? Ray, why'd you pray for them?
Well, because right now, I can't think of anything else that would help.
Maybe try and get answers from the tarot?
The only tarot with real answers is Mercury, and Mercury asks the questions. So other than staring at it for the rest of the night, I'm out of ideas.
Violet and aliens?
Hasn't Bron told you? Violet said she was abducted by aliens. But not your usual stick me on a slab, call me grey type aliens. Aliens that decorate.
Decorating aliens? A trap?
Exactly. I think it was using Violet for room planning. Apparently it wants a set of heads on the wall. Red heads, to be more specific.
If it's a traveller, why is it strangling people?
Well, it's a right, obviously. But the alien Violet's talking about probably isn't the same traveller. Perhaps this is something new we haven't discovered yet. Using humans as decor.
Demon had outgrown his host again, gotten too big for his poor heart to bear, tore him apart and choked with him, draped from the branches like flower pots hanging from a funeral home ceiling. And yet more dominoes fell, field of stones, leaves eroding the people on shore until only the sand remained. The demon always spread like a virus from person to person, with no touch, no shared germ, no shared air, just an audience full of awful curiosity.
Hi, I'm Ellis. I'm Ellis.
White robes barely cover her, soaked in blood. How very traditional. Cough. Cough. Call it that. There's a mossy slab beside Carnby Stream. The clouded sky picks out highlights in the water as it travels past jutting rocks and reeds. It's a calming juxtaposition. Cough. Cough. Coughing violently and uncontrollably, Lung adds his own blood sample to the victim's. He drops a barely touched cigarette to the floor.
I'm Zach Weston. Just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
I'm Zach Weston. Just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
He steps backwards wearily, brandishing a revolver at the girl.
Zach, the game is up. I think you should leave town.
What?
I know where you were last night. I followed you to Dorota's house. Well, I didn't know it was Dorota's house until we arrived. Call it women's intuition.
I was at the studio. You were...
Don't change the subject. Sam and Dupont put two and two together.
And then what?
And then they're going to arrest you. You weren't there long, I suppose, but then I guess it doesn't take you long, does it?
You were spying on me.
I saw you leave her house, and then I went in. She was naked, lying radiant on the bed. What did I find in her closet? A wedding dress. Who was that for, Zach? Who was that for? I'm done covering for you. We're finished. You need to leave. Now.
Blood pools behind him and in his mouth. You're mine now, the girl says, and reaches her hand into his chest, grabbing for something or... Takes a second. A transfer of energy takes place that can only truly be visualized by travelers from a far away. A roll into the back of his skull. He stops moving. The stream flows smooth. Reaches for something in Lung's jacket. The phone. She hits speed dial. Mom? It's Zoe. I know. It was the detective you hired. He tried to kill me. Anne, I love you too. She puts the phone back. Shaking. It moves as if it has a mind of its own. She tries to resist the movement, but it's too strong. It darts into the jacket and pulls out a cigarette. She
You're listening to Radio August.
Did he? Did he tell you that he was there too? I assumed Dorota was disappointed with the sex they'd had, so Zack killed her for attacking his masculinity. Well, that's just a lie. He's covering for himself. I never went into her bedroom. How could it be me? Yes. Should I be surprised you've seen it? Years ago, tattoos and piercings were frowned upon, but they're all in vogue now. Maybe branding scars will be in fashion too.
At least they were always dead. He'd had too many stunned, lopsided sparrows flapping around his kitchen. One robin, several blackbirds, usually.
Why would she say that? That would put us both at the crime scene. Dorota was fine when I left there. She asked me to come over and watch her get her freak on, which I did, being the gentleman that I am. I misread the signal somewhat, as I thought I was supposed to join in, which was not the case. I think she threw a teddy bear at me or something. After that I left. I had no idea Violet was spying on me.
Didn't seem to be moving. These were all good signs. White fur. What is that? A rat? No, not a rat. A cat. Smaller than a cat. A kitten. Ivan stared, stepping over its limp legs without even looking, her eyes fixed on him, waiting for... The kitten's eyes were open, blue, pink nose, pink ears, so fluffy, the cutest thing. We're on to kittens now, Uni? Uni meowed. Ivan pushed himself up and went to get a towel. When he returned, the kitten was scrambling at the mat with its front paws, trying to drag itself up. Its back legs lay...
Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Don't move, okay? Just don't try to move. But the kitten wouldn't stop struggling, suffering. Ivan clenched the towel, then draped it over the kitten's head. He stood and raised his...
Did you get a call from my doctor?
Your doctor did call.
Did you tell her I was being compliant?
I said you were taking the pills.
No. Not anymore.
I think you're supposed to take the pills, Violet.
Well, you're normally more forceful about it, Claude. You said my UFO was real. So why am I taking pills?
I didn't say the UFO was real.
Are you trying to make me go mad? Just an hour ago, you said there was a UFO sighting. Now it's take the pills, Violet.
You said you saw other heads when you were taken.
Yes. Other girls, younger than me. Nobody I recognised. They all had red hair.
Do you think this place is nearby? They all had red hair.
Yes, they all had red hair. They were all very pretty. And they were all alive. In that moment.
I thought I heard something going on, she said, smiling. Uni jumped up on the bed and Nola leaned forward to nuzzle her nose. Ivan perched on the edge of the bed and placed the kitten. Asked. His voice sounded shakier than usual. Didn't I mention it? She started pulling at the fur.
I haven't asked you about Zach yet.
Until a few hours ago, I never heard of the guy. Creepy as fudge, if you ask me.
Thanks, Lexi. It's always a pleasure.
Anything for you, Chief?
For you.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe.
By David F. Schultz. Read by Venomous Platypus. Breathing seems so loud when you want to stay hidden. Time oozed like molasses.
I'm Poe, and this is your August update. August update.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
I'm Poe, and this is your August update. August update.
Bedraggled hair with seaweed, and tentacles, each topped with an eyeball. Only they weren't, except for a moment. The head.
John. I'm gonna be fine.
Too impossibly large to fit in the room, and yet. Till it wasn't. Altering its form like camouflage, playing with the images and thoughts all called from its victims. There it floated.
I'm sorry, can I help you?
I've just moved in next door.
It's not a very good time at the moment, I'm afraid.
Really? Anything I can help with?
No, not really.
Limbs slowed with each straining step, and then stuck. I accepted my fate, hoped it would be over quickly. A blink, and there it was, clutching my shoulders with spider-like fingers, black eyeless sockets led a cold, dark tunnel, and at the bottom a mirage. Those teeth, that carnivorous circular maw, closing down like a... The vision vanished, and an alternative to death was offered. It wouldn't eat me, at least for now. It needed help with its camouflage. A human mind to wear, like a shell for her. I agreed to help the bag lady with its disguise. Yes, I agreed to help. I thought to the bag lady that it will do no good.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
Didn't care. The worm insisted that the bag lady was waiting. Or else be eaten tonight. So George found out. Better than the street or the shelters, a building with a vacant penthouse. George. Just true in a way. And we went to the top floor of that building, to the empty penthouse lair, to the room bathed in blue light, where the city sleeps below.
I followed you to Dorota's last night.
Are you insane? Why did you follow me, you stupid bitch?
You killed Dorota. You had sex with Dorota.
I absolutely did not.
Then what did happen?
She texted me to come over. Then she asked me to watch her play with herself from a distance. She likes people to watch, didn't you know? It's probably best if we didn't see each other for a while. You know where the door is.
Well, it definitely looks like an alien. And from what I can see, it's like a alien, I suppose, babies? And then it's wearing a hat. And it's made of stone. They kind of look like lizards.
Alien look. But it's quite an ancient object, isn't it? It's not modern.
Not at all.
This one is a sculpture that was found along with several others, similar sculptures, in a tunnel of caves in Mexico. Oh, I picked it up.
Frightening that it's from so long ago.
Look like. Or it could be an observation of someone actually countering someone who looks like this.
Perhaps.
Poe's Curiosity Shop is now closed. Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. Object I've just handed to you, B.
I have never seen anything like this. So...
Sam, I've got some heavy rain news. Lawrence Petrovsky, that's his real name, and no, he's not a Russian spy. But he does have a criminal record. He was charged with the murder of a 21-year-old artist. Looks like he got off on a technicality by all accounts. About 3 months ago in Hong Kong. Be careful, Sam. If you're going to ask him about this, it could be a flight risk. And you know, there's a good chance he could be the killer. Door's behind you. Yeah, Dr. Tanner. She's checking up on Violet. Why are you still giving her a hard time about this? She's had it tough enough already. She's had a shopping list of medical issues. This is just the latest thing. She might seem tough on the outside, but she's frightened, Sam. About a lot of things. The doctor said the aliens are delusions, a side effect of her previous alcoholism. She's been sober 6 months, and I don't want to change that, Sam. The neuropathy she suffered due to alcohol is causing her problems. The pills are to try to help with that, but guess they have side effects too. Memory loss. She's not a monster. Just a little girl lost. She was drinking to forget. She ran with a bad crowd a few years ago. They branded their backs with symbols, basically a cult. The leaders were imprisoned, but they left a lot of baggage behind. You won't get any mileage talking to her about it, I assure you.
It's now 10 o'clock. Here's your August update. Investigations deepen into last night's murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw, a talented cellist who had recently been granted a place at Juilliard, was found strangled at her home last night. With the murderer still at large, Chief DuPont has urged residents to remain calm and stresses there is almost no chance of anyone else being harmed. Alice, if you're listening, let me know you're okay. In other news, a handful of August residents have reported seeing strange lights in the sky earlier this evening. The lights, which witnesses describe as searingly bright, were spotted over the east edge of town, past the fire station. Have you seen any strange lights? Or for that matter, little green men? Let me know. That's 10 o'clock with Poe.
August's gone crazy tonight. I've just got off the phone with someone who thinks they saw a UFO on one of the nights that Violet went missing. Aliens will be normal right now. Anyway, now you're here, it's time. What do you suggest we do with Ellis Monroe? I'll send Danny over. And that means there'll be nobody at the guest house. So be extra vigilant.
What do you mean you're sticking me with Danny? Danny is basically doing out a scream. I'm a sitting duck. Isn't there anyone else? Chief DuPont? The only thing I've ever seen him run after is an ice cream truck. Fine. Danny it is. I just hope you know what you're doing.
Sam, Ellis is still with us. Danny's inside the house now, where I told him to be in the first place, so it's probably just luck that nothing happened. I think you should check back in with the tarot readers, though. They say they've got a new target.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Poe, and this is your August update. Police investigating the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw say they are getting closer to apprehending the killer. The death of Miss Shaw, who was found strangled at her home late last night, has sparked a massive police operation and caused alarm amongst August residents. Monroe has some personal business to attend to, but she sends you all her love and hopes to be back on the air tomorrow. And Monroe, if you can hear me, I'm sending my love out to you too. That's 11 o'clock with Poe.
Sam, I have some bad news. We've done a group reading, and it's you. We can't predict that. The next victim, it's you. I'm sorry. I think you've interfered too much. That's why you're the next target. I've called Chief DuPont already. He's asked that you meet with him. You should go, Sam. Be careful.
Sam, it's almost midnight. You're still alive. This is a good thing, but no one's even attempted to kill you yet. You've given me a lot of evidence, enough to arrest someone. But who? Make the right decision, and you should be safe. If we don't, well, we've all got to sleep at some point. I can get someone to guard your room at the guest house, but it might not be enough. So, Sam, who should I arrest? During that whole thing with Alice, the only people I couldn't keep track of were Rain, Zach, and Violet. I don't want to believe it's Violet, but That's why you're here. You're impartial. Out of those 3 names, who was with Dorota at the time of her murder, or who has an alibi that doesn't check out? This is on you, Sam. Just give me a name. This is serious, Sam. I'm going to lose my patience in a minute. It's late, Sam, but that is an epic fail. Oscar couldn't have murdered Dorota if he was playing football. Think. You want me to lock you up? I see. We're at that stage already, are we? Just do your job, Sam. It's obviously not you. Give me a name. She was a target, Sam, not a suspect. Where did it all go wrong for you? What have you got on Poe, other than that he was broadcasting live last night when Dorota was killed? He's not Poe, is it? Think, Sam. Think. Rain. Agreed. He's got no corroborated alibis for any key times, and he's one of those tarot muppets who I suspected all along. I was right when I said Bronwyn, because I knew it was one of them. I just didn't know which one. I'll pick him up. Just be careful tonight, Sam. If you've not done your job properly, the killer's still out there.
Sam, you asked for these earlier. Make sure you get some sleep now. You'll need it. Night.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and this is Poe with your August update. We don't normally have them at this time, but since there's a killer on the loose, I feel it's my duty to keep the radio station manned. I personally spoke with Chief DuPont earlier, and he thinks they're close to catching the killer. Until that happens, though, please lock your doors and stay inside. Remain vigilant. The light has faded, and so has my fortitude. I see things in shadows, behind doors and under desks. I hear the chattering of teeth and the glee of insects waiting to feed on me. The studio undulates like a heart that beats its last beats. I can't go on. I must to bed. Forgive me, Lady August. Forgive me.
Sam, you're awake. How convenient. I'm sorry, I am going to have to kill you. Sorry, what was that? I can't quite understand you with all that tape over your mouth. But you know too much, Sam. And you're getting annoying. I had to kill those girls. Zach doesn't know what he's doing. He loves me, not them. So I've seen the pictures. Those little whores. They're not marriage material. I'm marriage material. Keep killing those little bitches until he wakes up. But in the meantime, I have to deal with you, Sam. Zach?
Sorry, Violet.
Is that you? Oh my god! It is you! Here, let me untie you. It was you all along! You were Sam all along! That's so sweet! You wanted to be with me, but you didn't want me to know it was you. You've been looking after me as Sam, haven't you? Oh, Zach, I'm so happy it was you. So happy. Oh, I hope you can forgive me. I don't want to strangle anyone else, and now we're together. Oh, it's just perfect.
Sorry, Violet.
Good work, Sam. Jealousy is one hell of a motive, and Violet's one hell of a woman. I can't say I'm not disappointed. I've known Violet for years. It's just so unlike her. Let's see if we can get a confession out of her now. I'm thinking it's not going to be easy. Go get some rest. I'll catch up with you in the morning.
Hello, sleepyhead. I'm so glad to see you alive. Enjoy the journey, Sam. Don't think of things as ending. Something new is beginning. Violet's locked up. She's being charged for murder. Travelers don't like being incarcerated, so they'll have jumped realities already. It's not something that a jury will believe. The shell they've left behind won't remember what they've done. And spend a life in prison. All we can do is try and stop the next one. Sam, come with us, please. We could really use someone like you and, well, just... will you? Really? Oh, Sam, that's wonderful. Let's finish packing and we can leave this afternoon. Sam, thank you. We're going to change lives, believe me.
Hey, sweet cheeks. You did good. Real good. You win. Alexi hug. Sam, I'm just going to say it because you only live once and all that. Sam, I think I've fallen for you. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. It's out there now. We can get on with our lives. I see. Nice thing. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Heart wants what it wants. Perhaps you should go for a while so I can have a little cry. I'll be okay though.
Sam, you're alive. That's great. Thanks for thinking I was the killer, by the way. You and me, we're gonna have some trust issues for a while. Well, don't worry. I'll forgive you. Eventually. Look, I don't know if Bron asked in the end, but I hope you're coming with us. I really do.
I didn't think you'd leave without saying goodbye. People do horrible things to people every day. I'm just glad there's someone like you around to save us. I mean, everyone needs a little saving from time to time. Even me. That's easy for you to say. Look what you've just been through. I'd have been dead a few hours ago if it wasn't for you. But you're right. I am strong. I will be fine. But I like having you around, Sam. I hope you're staying.
Sam, you did good. I thought you would. I mean, not that I've got a signed confession or anything. Yet. Apparently, they don't remember anything about the murders, but Bronwyn seems pretty convinced it's over. Well done. I hear you're leaving town with the tarot readers. That's a real big shame you were starting to fit in here. But good luck to you. You're doing what many of us have died trying. Leaving August. And I've stuck to my word. That problem you had, I buried it. The coroner's report is going to say the woman was dead when you arrived, not after. I don't personally believe in exorcism or anything like that, but over the last 24 hours, I'm starting to think things aren't as cut and dried as I'd like them to be. You're a good person, Sam. At least that's definitely how it looks from the outside.
I am Dorota.
Because you did well. And you know what happens when you do well? Augmentation. Congratulations, Agent 3.13. Welcome to 3.14. Debriefing 3204 Birmingham. Transmit. And we're ready. Are you human? Do you have feelings? Then we'll need to work on that. Do plants have feelings? Splendid. I've burned down a rainforest. Does that make you happy? We've got a cognitive break here. It's missing environmental empathy. Take it away. You know why you're here, don't you? The dead girl. And this. What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that? Splendid. You're going to a town called August. Splendid. We expect you to use your ability. Just don't get caught.
I'm Violet. Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules. In particular, no shoes in the guest house. The carpets are priceless. Now, how long are you staying for? That's fine. It's yours. There's not been many visitors of late. It's just you and some tarot readers at the moment. It's deathly quiet.